Today's micro moment is all about, my gosh, what if on a holiday like Thanksgiving, which is in 2 weeks, you realize you don't quite have enough food or you have an extra guest show up? What do we have in our food storage that we could put together really fast that would make a lovely side dish and looks like it was planned all along? Well, the other day I was out in our food storage and look what I found. I found this bottle of carrots. Can you see the date on it? November of 2015. I don't know how this little rascal escaped my view until now, but this is now 6 years old. 6 years old carrots. They still look beautiful. And if we have canned carrots on our pantry shelf and ghee that we have made, as well as dill weed that either we have grown or that we have in a spice bottle, we've got the makings for a wonderful, quick little side dish. So I am going to not put all of the water in there, but about 1/8 of a cup. There we have it. They still smell just fine. And I think maybe I have just a little too much liquid. I'm going to drain just a little bit more out so that there's just barely enough on the bottom of the pot to keep it from burning. Then I am going to put a generous amount of ghee in. My ghee is very soft today because it's warm in the kitchen. That's a lot of ghee. And ghee is the same thing as butter with the milk solids removed. So if you're lactose intolerant, you might want to look at our video for making ghee out of regular butter. And then I'm just going to take this dill and sprinkle a generous amount of dill. It's actually not coming out fast enough for me. Let me do the other side. There we go. No, same thing. There. Okay, there it is. Now I'm just going to put this on the stove and bring it to a boil. Okay, so this is a little bit of a bait and switch because while I was putting this together after I found that jar of carrots, I thought, okay, so what if I expand this idea about holiday side dishes and using only what we have in food storage? And as Jim and I talked about it, we kind of hatched a plan. What if I found a collection of really nice, lovely side dishes for holiday dinners, and that I attempted to make 2 or 3 of them using only what we have on hand right at that moment. Couldn't go to the store, couldn't get any from any other source other than what we have either produced ourselves that we have in food storage, or I have, like still I have chives growing out in the garden plus some other herbs. And so I said, okay, I'm up for it. And I found a lovely website that had 40 different holiday sides. And they were just a little bit fancy. And so those are the rules that I set for myself. Now, using only things from food storage or that we already have on hand. Now, if we were really in that situation where we were having to live on our food storage, most likely the grid would be down, maybe our propane would have run out, and so I would have to be doing this completely off-grid, which we are equipped to do, and we will be showing additional ways that are all across the spectrum from not very expensive to expensive, options that we can I'm hoping that almost everyone could use at least one of those options. So I would be doing this probably outside. But today, when we film this video a little bit later, I'm going to be using my refrigerator and my oven along with only things that I have on hand. Okay, so let's check our carrots. Right, they were boiling like crazy. So here they are. And then the other trick, if you're in a bind and need something quickly, is the presentation. And so I have this little antique bowl that I've had for years and years. I think it's been in our family for quite a while. And this is my grandmother's spoon. And so I'm going to lift these out and drain them completely so it's just carrots in this bowl. And frankly, I could eat this whole thing myself. I love carrots. Not everyone loves carrots. We had a group of 7 post a little note on our recent video on pressure canning carrots, and they said, we vetoed this video because we hate carrots. There are 7 of us. So we got vetoed by that group. And most likely we'll be vetoed on this as well. Okay, so covered with ghee and spiced up with that dill, and then adding a little salt at the plate. What a lovely little side dish that is. So I am going to put the link to the website where I found those 40 holiday sides. They may have been called Thanksgiving sides now that I think about it. And between now and Wednesday, when we're going to air that video where I'm doing 3 of those, why don't you take a look at that website and see which ones you might be able to do from what you have stored already on hand, so you don't have to run to the grocery store. And then when we air that video on Wednesday, you can compare to see if you did any of the ones that we did. I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm still excited. This will be a fun experiment, and we'll see how it goes. All right, so I think I'll go hide someplace and eat these all by myself. So thanks for being with us, and we will see you on Wednesday when we will air, and let's see what it is called. I think I'm going to name it Holiday Sides Using Food Storage. So watch for that video in just a couple of days, and we'll see you next week at the next Micro Moment.